Where your treasure is, there will your heart be also. God has given us unlimited treasures in His Word. Every time we open it, we can discover a new treasure or admire an old one. What will we find today? Here's Carla Early with Treasure Hunt in the Word.
Okay, quick quiz. Do you remember what your pastor preached on yesterday? How about last month? How about last year? If you do somehow remember that far back, could you write down what he said word for word? If you're anything like me, these questions might cause you to laugh. I don't even remember somebody's name 2 minutes after they're introduced to me, let alone what a preacher preached about last week. I might remember a particular story he told, and if I really think hard on that, I might remember the point he was trying to make. But really, don't hold your breath on that. Just think about the disciples. Half the time, they didn't understand, or at least they didn't fully understand what Jesus was talking about. So how could they write the Gospels decades later with such accuracy? They couldn't have made up all that theology and fulfilled prophecy. Jesus explains this phenomenon in John 14:25 and 26. He said, "These things I have spoken to you while being present with you. But the Helper, the Holy Spirit, whom the Father will send in my name, He will teach you all things and bring to your remembrance all things that I said to you." As He had told Peter, "You don't understand this now, but you will later." The Holy Spirit would make things clear to their minds, remind them what Jesus had taught, and make connections for them from the Hebrew Scriptures, and continue to teach them. And He would work through them to write the New Testament for the rest of us to read and study. It would be the Holy Spirit's work from beginning to end, every word God breathed. What if God had called John to write his gospel and he said, "I'm too old, I can't remember all that. It was more than 60 years ago." God could have told him, similar to what He had told Moses, "Who made your brain? I'm the one who said and did all this. I remember it, and I can give you every word." Several times in his gospel, John says specifically that the disciples didn't understand something Jesus said or did, but they remembered it later, and it strengthened their faith. Like at the beginning of John when he said, "Destroy this temple, and in 3 days I will raise it up." That made absolutely no sense until after Jesus' resurrection. And in John 12:16, they didn't understand Jesus' triumphal entry into Jerusalem. I'm sure those weren't the only times that they gave each other puzzled looks. But John includes these so that we can realize they were not on the same wavelength with Jesus, just like we aren't sometimes. But later, things became clear. So when we read a passage we don't understand, or something that seems to contradict itself elsewhere, we can ask the Holy Spirit to clarify it for us. After all, He wrote it. He knows what it means, and we can trust that His word is inerrant and can teach us all we need to know.
You can contact us at treasurehuntintheword@gmail.com. We'd love to hear the treasures God has given you through His Word. You can listen to other episodes on our website, which you can find in the description below. Thank you for listening, and remember, where your treasure is, there will your heart be also.